right, we ready?
All right.
What's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and I'm here with
Doom Dingus.
Doom Dingus, Mr.
Dylan.
Dylan. Is this camera, are we in the right camera angle? Do we have to scooch up?
Are we in the Panasonic frame? Okay. Good Star Trek stuff. Yeah.
Now everybody's already automatically turned off. They're like, yeah, I'm done. Watch time has gone to shit already. Oh. There we go. That's it.
Out, yeah.
All the kids out of the room already.
Q, David.
Well, welcome everybody to Flipside's Music. What the F.A.Q. We are in episode 5. 5 weeks. Pretty awesome so far. We really appreciate everybody that is participating in the nonsense that is this. So
Shenaniganery about
yes. First time here, we appreciate you tuning in. Every week we're doing a question and answer show. If you do have a question, feel free to put it into the comment section, and we will do our best to get at it. We can't seem to get to every one of them, but we'll do what we can.
Yeah, we're actually getting more than we were last.
Yeah, people are asking us stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah. All
right. So we'll just jump right in. Let's see okay, we're gonna start here. Dr. Nick. My question is, I'm not super into the way the neck pickup on my ASAT sounds. ASAT is a Tele style G&L guitar. Should I try for the neck? Really like the bridge. He likes the bridge. He wants something hotter for the neck. I think he thinks so. Opened it up, and there's not a route for humbucker, so hotter lipstick might be the way to go. Doesn't really know, and it's asking us what we think.
Yeah, I don't know if hotter is necessarily the issue here. I was gonna say if it's just a sonic sound, like not enough mids or not enough low end or something like that, then I'd consider maybe just a different pickup. I don't know if it needs to be hotter.
Right. Hey, by the way, we never hooked up the light.
Oh yeah, it's on, but whatever.
Whatever.
Bright enough
We're already in this, so we're going for it.
Fabulous. No.
The light's right here. Yeah, it kind of depends on what you're looking for in your neck pickup. I would say hotter is not always the answer. Because you already have, I don't know what the output of what your bridge pickup is, but if you're looking for more of a creamier kind of sound out of that Tele, that neck pickup, hotter might not do it for you.
Yeah, or even like if you like you said earlier, like a Strat pickup in the neck spot, that would be that's just a different sound, not necessarily a difference in output.
Right. If you're looking for something a little bit creamier,
yeah,
in the neck, even a Strat neck pickup would be a great option. The thing is, you got to kind of test it out.
Or even like quarter pounders or something like that too. Something that's just
not a quarter pounder is a bridge. No.
Do they make the neck one? No.
There's one that they put with. There's one that they put with. It comes in a set, but it's not the quarter pounder itself. Is basically the humbucker, bridge humbucker, or bridge single coil. It's just.
So what would happen then if you did a quarter pounder in the neck? That could be interesting. I don't know. Future idea.
Yeah, we might have to try some of that. But I think the answer is, maybe it might not be hotter. Might not be the answer.
Right.
What I would do is just you might have to experiment a little bit. Go to some pickup companies that you like. Maybe like Seymour Duncan. Where was I going with that? Three Doors Duncan. Seymour Duncan or Lindy Fralin. Fralin makes fantastic pickups. So does Duncan. There's some other really good pickup companies out there
Late
too.
Sensor too, I think they do. Do they do a single coil that's?
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard any Late Sensor stuff in a while.
Okay.
To be honest, it was all the rage back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean they still crop up every once in a while, but they're honestly
compressed, though. There's a compressed kind of thing. Clapton used them back in the day.
Oh,
okay. Like the Journeyman tour.
Okay.
That whole thing.
Maybe not so much. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if those are the answer.
But honestly, Seymour Duncan has like rough EQ charts for pretty much every pickup they have, so that'll at least give you a clue as to what to expect if you end up going that route.
Right. Well, yeah. You might want a little bit more bass, more top end, cut out the mids or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Also, a good thing to do is just try maybe moving your pickup up and down a little bit. That's going to adjust the tone a little bit too, and that's the most inexpensive route.
Yeah.
But try that. That might be something that...
that actually makes a pretty dramatic difference, too.
So that might be something to kind of mess with that and see if that's going to be something that'll bring it to where you want to be and get that sound that you're finding in your head.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I do like a Tele question.
Yeah, we got plenty in this one, actually.
Yeah, we actually got a few.
So next one, Beat Hog Pros asks, how long have you been in Denver, and what's your favorite place in Colorado?
I've been in Denver since 2001. I was here from 2001 until 2008. Then I went back to New York for 5 years, family stuff, and then I moved back in 2013. So Dylan's taking a break. Is it already Colorado state law break time?
Yep.
He's letting a customer out. So I've been here since 2001, stayed till 2008, went home, came back 2013, and I've been here ever since. And what is my favorite place in Colorado? So I don't really get out of the city very much. I'm in Denver a lot. I'm kind of a city guy, so I do like the mountains. I mean, it's beautiful here in Colorado. So I would happen to say Red Rocks is my favorite place in Colorado, just because a lot of good times, a lot of good shows. It's a cool area in general. I do need to probably get out into the rest of the state a little bit more, though.
Yeah,
So that's my
more
answer.
mountain time. For me, I'm a Colorado native. I've moved quite a few times, but been here and came back here pretty much most of my life. Honestly, my favorite spots are up in the mountains. Like Leadville is a pretty cool spot. You know, it's pretty much, no tourists, and the town's pretty much the way it's always been up there. So for me, it's kind of like going into a different time almost.
Like miner 49er. Stealing.
Get your mine shaft.
Get your pickaxe. We're gonna go mine for some gold. I don't know. Maybe that.
Yeah, that's what happened here. I fell into a mine shaft.
Is that how they all sound in Leadville?
In Leadville, yeah, that's the dialect of Leadville.
Miner 49er style. All right. Well, I think that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I do like the mountain towns though. I mean, Vale's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Steamboat's pretty nice. I've been up there a few times. I mean,
Vale's pretty. Yeah, Vale's pretty. I don't know if I like the.
I don't know
like
if
the
I live
vibe
there.
I don't know if I like the vibe up there. Like Breckenridge and Leadville, they're a little more down to earth.
But isn't that where? Yeah.
No, Hatfield, yeah.
Hetfield lives up there.
Yeah.
So you might catch him one of these
He's
days.
actually over towards I think he might be towards Minturn, which is kind of near Beaver Creek. But yeah, those are definitely pretty scenic spots. Probably the main attraction for Colorado. I mean, I think most Coloradans would probably give back most of everything east of here back to Kansas if we could, but
Yeah, we don't. There's nothing. I mean, it's nice, but
yeah, from here to Lyman's kind of
it's real empty.
yeah.
It's the plains. It's not just a clever name.
Yeah, it's plain.
All right, so moving on. Driddle.
Dribble.
Drittal.
Yeah,
We
you gotta find out who you are.
You gotta let us know how to say that correctly. So, how did you come up with the name Flipside? So Flipside came up with the name Flipside Music. I used to have a friend back in the day that always used to say, "Hey man, I'll catch you on the flip side." So I thought that was kind of cool. And one day I was just driving through and I saw something that said Flipside, and it was kind of like a few times in a row it happened. I'm like, Flipside's cool, it's not normal. It's not normal every day. It's kind of like B-side, like a B-side of a record or a B-side of a single or something.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
when they
think
have records,
Leaves
And-
room for improvement.
Yeah,
Things
it
on
was
the
just-
flip side can be better.
Yeah, and it was just, it wasn't the same old
Yeah.
shite that you would see everywhere else. The flip side was something else. So that's kind of why I thought it was a cool name, and we could do it.
Yeah.
That's really where it came from. So, not, that's
Literally signs.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere, signs. All right. So,
Yeah.
fucking up the scenery.
Once the crop circles lay in, that's where the logo came from.
Yeah.
Great
well,
crop circle.
Yeah, sort of, actually.
Actually, it would be cool.
All right, let's see. Seymour Duncan deal. Yes, Scott H. As a Seymour Duncan dealer, you have had experience with their noiseless single coil stack line of pickups, not the single coil sized humbuckers. And if so, what are your thoughts? So I haven't had a ton of experience with the stacked noiseless. a lot of the guys that we have that actually get the Duncan stuff that are going with the single coil size do end up with the humbuckers.
Yeah, especially in the
hot
bridge
rails and stuff like that. So we haven't had a ton of experience with them. I have,
I think, like I said, I think Heath from Victor was the only one that I think those were Seymours. I can't remember for sure if they were Fender or Seymours, but
no,
those were the only
those
ones.
were Seymour because remember
because they did sound pretty good, and like at that point I hadn't really heard stacked single coils that didn't sound kind of sterile by comparison.
I played a Fender that had stacked single coils. It was a Tele, and it was
Imagine that.
Go figure. And I kind of didn't like it. They were definitely a little flat for me.
Yeah, I almost feel like you lose like that kind of weird, crisp sound that you get from single coils when that's not there. Because humbuckers kind of round things out. I feel like the stacked ones, whenever I've heard them, it does the same thing, which I like that weird kind of glassy sound that single coils have.
Right.
So
well,
for
you
me,
can
it's
always
kind
of roll that.
Yeah.
If you get too bright, too brittle, you can kind of roll it back depending on what you're doing. But so I'm sorry. I guess
we're not super versed in those.
We're not super versed in them. But that could be one of those things. It's a trial and error. That's half of guitar building is.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many pickups I've put into guitars and then just going, oh, this sounds like
garbage.
Ace. Sounds terrible. So I actually have a stack of pickups at home. But so sorry, dude. We don't have a ton of experience on that. Maybe we shouldn't have answered that question, but we're trying to be honest. So
yeah, up to this point, yeah. I mean, I guess there's honestly, even down the road, that might be something we could address again.
Yeah, maybe that's a good. Maybe that would be a good video
down the road.
Yeah, just to kind of test it out and see how it sounds compared to, let's say, a humbucker sized.
Yeah, that would actually be good too.
I mean, if it worst comes to worst, I mean, I will volunteer a Tele or put a Tele together. I'll put a parts caster together if we have to.
If the situation calls for it.
If the situation calls, just to test that out, I think I might do that. It might be tough to do, but I'll try it.
Try to contain your enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, that should be okay. So here's another thing. Well, it doesn't go along with it, but it kind of does. So Mike Cashel.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Mike Cashel said, "What's your favorite personal guitars?" And then he asked if we could do a sound sample.
Like bring them in. Yeah.
So that's a great idea, and I think we're going to do that. We're going to have some more videos coming up in September. So that could be a good one, just to show you guys some of the guitars that we have personally.
Yeah, it felt like it would have been too much to jam that in with an F.A.Q too, but hopefully we could do at least like a standalone video for those.
Yeah, I think we'll do that, but in September sometime. So stay tuned. We'll
questions like that, keep those coming because those do give us good ideas for future videos and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I'll bring in a couple that I really like.
Yeah, I would. My main two, my Explorer and my Barrington, would be probably the ones I would do.
So we will do that, Mike. So keep an eye out. We will make that video for you guys. Okay, so moving along, let's do
Dr. Nick number 2.
Dr. Nick number 2 follow-up comment. Anyone know any good double cut Les Paul Junior style guitars that are not Epiphone or Gibson?
And I feel like Junior specifically, that makes it a little harder for me to answer. But when he first asked, like double cut Les Paul, like the Kyle Shutt model from Reverend. Seems like a really cool one because, I mean, it's got the typical layout you'd want from like a Gibson style. A little spikier on the horns, a little more.
Yeah, the Sensei, a little
more metal.
The Sensei Juniors, yeah. I mean, I got one, so.
Yeah.
Mine's just a single P90 in it. But
yeah, because, I mean, like, I don't know if we can see it in that. Is it in there? If I move my head?
Right there.
Right there. Yeah, that one. So to me, that's like a good fusion of a Les Paul and an SG. Because it's got the fatness and the size of like a Les Paul, but you've got kind of the devil horns. So it's a good compromise of the two.
It's a comfortable playing guitar.
Yeah.
It's really, I love that guitar too.
Another
one might be like a Hamer.
Yeah.
I think Hamer makes a pretty solid one. All the Hamer stuff is kind of like under the radar. I feel like, because I've played some of their 335s and I really liked them too. So they don't get all the
kind of sleepers.
Yeah, I mean, there's those brands that don't get a lot of. It's all the hype and everybody wants to fondle them on camera and be like, "Ooh, these are so great,"
Right.
Because I guess Hamer doesn't.
Yeah, they don't.
Hamer doesn't fall over backwards for folks to do videos and stuff. I guess I don't know, but check out Hamer. That's a good one. That affordable and well built stuff from what I've seen. So that's what that's my answer. I'm sticking to it. Let's go here.
I wonder if Vintage does a... Do you know?
Vintage might.
Because, I mean, they do really cool, like, other Gibson-style copies, but... Like a double cut Les Paul, I don't know if they do or not. That'd be a good one to look into.
I'd have to check. The vintage stuff is nice.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked out Vintage Guitars, it's owned by Trev Wilkinson that makes all the parts. Those are super cool. Really nice guitars. The ones that we've had in here have been well built and sound good and really affordable.
Yeah, and they look pretty sharp. I mean, they don't, I feel like sometimes some of the Gibson copies kind of look kind of off. It's like they're trying to not get sued, I get it, but at the same time, you're sacrificing a good amount of style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I would say check out the Hamer stuff and the Reverend Senseis. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to MJ Youngers. MJ Youngers. MJ. So I use a J Rockett Dude pedal on my board, and so he's asking me, how do you run your J Rockett Dude? If you were, or is it J Rockett, Dude? That's what. How do you run your J Rockett
Dude?
If you're running only 2 gain stages, can the Dude shine as a low gain stackable drive in your setup? And then there's a part 2 question. So the answer is yes, the Dude can be a low gain stackable drive.
Really good boost, even. Because, like Jake, he pretty much uses it into a Marshall-style amp and just kind of hits the front end of it, and it just kind of fattens things up. It adds a little cream.
Yep. A little bit of compression. That's what I like about it. That's so if you guys haven't checked out the J Rockett Dude, it's a really killer pedal.
Yeah, kind of Dumble style. That's what it's going for. And honestly, it's definitely one of the better ones out there.
J Rockett makes a bunch of good drivey stuff.
Yeah.
But it's got a nice low end to it. And it would definitely stack, I think, very well with anything that's going to be a little bit more mid-range boosts or mid-range.
Yeah, kind of round off the edges a bit.
Yeah, so like a Tube Screamery thing. So if you were going to stack it with like something like a Tube Screamer, I can see that could round it out.
Yeah, and whichever one you put at the end of that chain would be the one that would have probably the most impact. So if you put the Dude and then boosted it with something, you're going to get probably more of what the Dude's already doing, which would round out kind of those sharp edges. Whereas if you wanted more mids out of the Dude, you could throw it in front.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I could see that. So, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely versatile. You don't have to just use it as like your main foundation drive.
Right.
You can just use it as a good boost or a light drive.
It's definitely stackable.
Yeah.
All right, and then part 2 of his question is chicken or beef?
Yeah, we're not sure, is this ramen
or is it burrito? Or just in general? Because if it's a general...
I feel like as a race, we're obligated to eat more beef.
I just think in general it would be beef. But if it was like burrito, I do love a chicken burrito.
Yeah, it's pretty delitionable.
Yeah, if you we'll make it delitionable. We can put it in the fryer.
Jones barbecue.
Yeah, we'll fry it. So, yeah.
If it's ramen, then beef, but...
Chicken. I'm going to go with chicken. Okay, let's modify the question. If you could only have chicken or beef.
As a meat?
As a meat, forever.
Chicken's more versatile. I'd go chicken.
You and your practicality.
Well, everything tastes like chicken for a reason, right? Except it doesn't, but...
I don't even know if that does that make it?
No, it doesn't. Like, some dude tried to tell me alligator once tasted like chicken. I'm like, no.
It kind of does, though.
Yeah, but it just doesn't.
It does. Well, if I had to only have chicken and or beef... Is it
Kobe beef? Is Kobe beef? I'm on board for that.
I think we're making this more complicated. This is the problem.
Who knew this would be the most in-depth question?
I know. I would go chicken. Because then maybe you can get an egg out of it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So, see? Now we got there's more diversity.
Renewable resource.
Right. There is more diversity in the chicken,
but
I feel.
If you get more cattle, you can get more cattle out of the cattle.
Well, now we're going past the question. Yeah, and you could make a nice jacket.
What comes first, the cow or the cow?
Or you could get some. You could make some nice guitar straps.
Yeah. You've had leather and plenty. Make yourself some leisure suits.
We may have to come back for this at a different time to figure out what chicken or beef. You're gonna have to break that question down to more specifics because we can go on too long. Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's a non-answer.
Yeah. There you go, MJ.
How do you like that answer, MJ? Okay, so Darrell.
Or do we want to do Pat's?
Where's Pat? Oh, Pat's right here.
Choose this is pretty quick.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Choosing a pick. Zillion kind out there. How do you choose?
Just try a bunch.
Well, I usually go.
Okay,
what I usually do is I try to figure out when, if Mercury is in retrograde when I was born, cross-reference with the time I was born.
Make sure everything was aligned. And
Yeah, because then it might be like, oh, it's totally a Durlin.
Yeah, I like to Chilean tree gnome picks. Those are the
used
only
that
ones. I'll find the Chilean tree gnomes are better though. The Ecuadorian tree gnomes, they're just not as great.
Yeah, but they're the ones that make who makes the Guatemalan hot peppers?
Guatemalan aquatic gnomes.
The Guatemalans.
Yes.
Okay, so back to Pat's question.
The
Okay, Pat.
Guatenomes.
How do you pick a pick? I would say go to your store. How do you pick a pick? How do you just go to a local store or come here and grab, like a variety pack. They're not very expensive. And just try a bunch of different things because some stuff is going to have a different texture. Some will have a different tone, or at least that's what they claim to do. Some are larger and some are smaller. Some have, the pointy tips and all that other stuff. So it really comes down to what you're trying to do. And some stuff's better than others. If you're playing acoustic and you're doing a lot of, singery, songwriter, acoustic stuff, you're going to use something different than if you're trying to shred like Petrucci.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chris seems to be convinced. I'm not sure yet. I'm willing to look into it, but he seems to be convinced that heat, like body heat, actually has a factor. Chris B. Barchi. Yeah, no, we were trying to figure this out because, as you heat up the pick,
we're running too long already.
I know, but as you heat up the pick, certain qualities of the pick sometimes can change. Because I don't like nylon picks. Hate them.
I don't like nylon.
I hate them just because they feel rubbery. Like the pick is just not convinced that it really wants to pick.
Sometimes the pick
it's an unmotivated pick.
I think the answer is just try a bunch of different ones.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'll
they're
find
cheap.
the one right. Yeah.
Just try what you want to try. You'll get the texture, tone, or whatever you want, and that's the only way to really do it.
Yeah.
I mean, ask some friends, see what they use, try those. If you don't like it, go on the hunt and find something.
Yeah, you'll find your one.
You'll find your one.
That or you never will, and you'll have all the fun of trying a bunch of different picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be in the dryer.
Yeah.
They'll all fall
the
out
lint drawer.
They'll all fall out of the dryer.
Yeah.
All right, moving on because we're running long. All right, Terry Starks. Thanks, y'all, for answering my questions. Okay, you're excited. So he is seeing a few blonde and natural Teles. He's seen Ryan from R&A Music unbox its CMG.
Yeah, purple mark.
Yeah,
that was a pretty cool one too.
It was a really nice. CMG makes a really cool Tele with it's actually shorter scale,
right,
24 and 3/4, which is odd for a Tele. So basically, but get to the question, he wants to do some church stuff and maybe an open mic. Terry is 62 years old and kind of a beginner and wants to know what Tele we would recommend. Being a Tele fan myself, I would recommend, if you're kind of a beginner, but you seem like you want to get to a different level, you want to get to a point where you're a little bit more proficient.
Yeah, if you're planning the gig.
Right, if you're planning the gig. So if you stick with it, but you want to stay within a budget, I would say, the Squire Classic Vibe stuff is really good, and that's going to put you at a decent price point. And, set up properly, that's going to sound pretty good, and you could gig with that. My other suggestion would be like a G&L Tribute. Those things are great. I mean, built, and they sound awesome.
USA hardware, even on the Tribute. So, I mean, that, at least in my book, that's a big plus.
Yeah. And that's where I would go.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of G&L
over here
in that area.
Actually, I think those are there. But.
Yeah, and we love the G&L stuff. So
yeah, and then Squire too is definitely, I think, a much better option than it was even like 5 or 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
not that I was really playing that much then, but just I've played other instruments from that period, and compared to the way it is now with the QC, I feel like QC is way better. So.
Yep, I think they've done a really great job, and that puts you under, I'll put you in the 4 to 550 ish range, depending.
And then G&L's kind of there for you if you're in the 4 to 6 range.
Yeah, and right in there, and then you're in a good spot. And I think that's the G&L Tribute is definitely a good guitar to kind of get from maybe later beginner to your intermediate, and you could certainly be a gigging guy with that.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the G&Ls for sure. Well, both of them really. I've seen both in both situations. But yeah, the G&L I feel like right out the door is probably maybe the better one to go. Well, if you can, it's probably
if you
the better
can.
one
That's
to
where
go.
I would go. That's where I would go.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's it. I think that's all our questions for this week. There again, everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate. Man, I'm having trouble today.
That's
a little
right.
bit.
Words, yeah.
Words.
Well, it was my turn last week.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say baritone. Baritone.
Yeah.
Baritone.
You better go to your house or go to your local pub.
Go to the pub and tune your baritone.
Go to your house. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. See, I'm still. I'm terrible.
Sorry.
I appreciate everybody
We're
participating.
saying bye. That's what we're
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. All right. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
You're on the Dr. Phil show. A problem is that you're into yourself, that you flirt with girls, that you're not plugged into your marriage. You're in the green room hitting on my staff. What the hell are you thinking?